Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky15. We're back to normal now. The Grand National and the Aintree Festival's all wrapped up for another year. The Grand National wasn't too bad for us in the end. We had two decent each way profits with Annabelle Fly and Milan's Bar, which I put up in my top three, my Grand National special. The other one, Regal Encore, unfortunately became a non-runner, so that was a little bit disappointing there. The Aintree Festival for us as well, if you saw my previews, we started off well on day one. We had a couple of winners, a few decent each ways, but as the meeting went on, we went in a downward spiral. We only had a few good each ways and the odd winner, so it really wasn't very good for us in the end. But the Grand National did go okay for us, and I was happy with our results. So that's how that festival went for us. This week we've got some good horse racing going on. We've got Newmarket, which shows that the flat season hopefully is now coming on. There's been quite a few of the flat turf meetings cancelled so far this year due to the rainy conditions in the UK, but hopefully a lot of them go on this week, and I'll be previewing all the races that's going to be taking part in the Craven meeting at Newmarket this week. Also as well, I'll do a Scottish Grand National preview, which is going to be next weekend, so I'll do a little special trying to find you help the right profile of the winner for the race, so stay tuned for that. Also as well, we've got Newbury coming up at the weekend as well, so we've got a lot of good horse racing coming up, and it should be really exciting. This time of year can always be difficult, especially when it comes to the flat season, because a lot of the horses are making their seasonal debuts, they're reappearing for the first time, and there's also as well there'll be a lot of young horses making their first ever appearance at a racecourse, so this time of year in the next couple of weeks can always be quite tricky from a punting perspective, but hopefully we can have some winners along the way and a little bit of fun. So enough of me waffling on, we'll get stuck into tomorrow's horse racing action, and not a bad horse racing for tomorrow. Quite a few decent cards for a Monday, and we're going to be starting at Kelso in the 240 with a horse called Geronimo tomorrow. Best odds round about 5-2 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Sandy Thompson. Alex Chadwick, conditional jockey, takes the ride, claiming a good £7 off. Now I was on this horse last time at a decent price each way, where it finished second on its handicap debut at Carlisle behind a good horse that's been improving this year, Phil Kirby's, called Skip the Scales. That was a really decent run. They were miles clear of the third place horse, and in the end Geronimo just went down fighting. It's only been raised £3 for that second place, and I thought it could still go very well tomorrow off a mark of 110, and round about 5-2 bookmakers at the moment. I thought there was still a lot more of improvement to come, and for me I think he's one to definitely get your teeth stuck into tomorrow, and he's going to be the first one to kick us off in the 240 at Kelso. We then go to the 340 at Kelso with a horse called Lookslikenowtbrian, round about 9-4 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Tim Vaughan, and Richard Johnson takes the ride, current champion jockey, probably going to make it 3 times in a row. I think it's his only ride tomorrow on the card as well in Kelso, and possibly as well Tim Vaughan's only runner. This horse has been raised £9 from its victory 2 starts ago at Foss Lass. It did win next time out, where it had some dodgy jumping, but it was kind of a match on paper between another horse called Bobby's Emerald, so wasn't a great performance, but it did follow up, and I thought still off the mark, even though it is going to be carrying near top weight tomorrow. If you look at the rest of the field, it was still probably the most progressive horse and could still be open to some improvement, and I thought it was interesting that Richard Johnson's gone all the way up to Kelso to ride it. He wouldn't normally go if he thought it had a chance, so for me this horse is going to be our second selection in the 340 at Kelso. Our next selection then goes over to Leopardstown, over to Ireland, and this fixture's been rearranged. I did put this horse up for this exact race a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately, like I said, it was postponed. It's in the 5 o'clock at Leopardstown listed race, and this horse I'm going for is called Bracken. It's round about 9-4 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Joe Lyons, whose stable are really coming on now as the Irish flat season kicking off. Colin Keane, last year's champion jockey, takes the ride, and this horse has got a good record going fresh and is on paper the best horse in the race, rated 110, and if he's anywhere near that mark he should go well, and he'll like the conditions. He's won at the course before, and I thought this horse was the one they all had to beat tomorrow, and I thought he wasn't a bad price to be getting stuck into at 9-4, and for me he's going to be the one they've all got to beat tomorrow. So that's going to be the third selection there. Our last selection then sees us go So Ireland still in the last race, but onto their jumps fixture tomorrow. And we're going to Tramore with a horse called Dorydalis. Around about 2-1 bookmakers at the moment. Trained by Gordon Elliott, as you all know, won the Grand National this weekend with Tiger Roll. He's had a winner today at Tramore. Nina Carberry takes the ride. Very good experienced jockey. Now, last time we saw this horse, it was odds-on favourite on its hurdling debut, and it was in front when it fell, unfortunately, and was going quite nicely. And it's already had a few bumper runs under its belt, and I thought really in this race tomorrow it's probably got the best bit of form going into the race, and I thought was capable of winning quite a weak race. I know Willie Mullins does have an interesting new recruit, but for me, Dorydalis I thought was the one that they all had to beat, and ran about 5-2 with bookmakers at the moment. I thought he wasn't a bad selection to be getting stuck into for the last race on Monday's card tomorrow. So they're the selections for tomorrow. Let us know if you fancy anything. I did nearly think about putting some Windsor tips in there, but because we don't know what's going on, from a punting perspective, I'd rather probably just sit and watch their card, maybe just have the odd selection here and then if you did want to punt. But from that angle, I'm not really confident about anything at Windsor tomorrow, so it's a little bit of a shame, but it's the way it goes at the moment. So that's all I've got to say. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel here at Lucky15 if you want more horse racing tips, and don't forget to check out those videos that are going to be coming out later this week, so stay tuned for them. So if you subscribe to them, you'll get a notification to say that they've been uploaded. Also as well, you can please follow me on Twitter if you like at Lucky15 under the same name as my YouTube channel. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.